Welcome back to Tifosi Time, everyone. Your weekly Serie A podcast where we discuss everything calcio, from your favorite teams to transfer news to whatever else catches our fancy. This week, we'll be discussing everything that happened during week 27, the debacle that is Juventus and everything associated with it. My name is Frank. Before we go on to the other host, though, quick reminder, like this, subscribe if you at all like calcio and want to join the conversation. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. So say hello, Dan, Chris, Pietro, say hello.
Hey. Hi. Let's get into it. Let's go.
Let's get into it.
We got a lot of bashing to do. Come on.
We do have a lot of bashing to do.
It depresses me. I can't.
So for anyone who's new watching this, you're going to hear a lot of Juventus hate probably over the next hour, and we are all Juventus fans. So get ready for it. You know it's coming from a good place. All right, who wants to start? So let's obviously start with the Juventus Benevento debacle. I can't even, missed opportunity. I don't even call it a missed opportunity because we know what they are at this point, but
it was embarrassing.
Initial thoughts.
Embarrassing. They lost. They tied them earlier in the season, and then they lost. They didn't beat them once this season. This is why they're dropping out of the top four. All right,
Beepo.
They are terrible.
Listen, not only that, Benevento hasn't won in like 3 months.
Yeah,
and they go in there home. Juventus is home and lose 1-0. Are you kidding me? The team who has the worst defense in the league, you can't get one goal past them. Get out of here. This team's disgraceful.
Oh.
I don't know. I made a card. I don't know if Dom wants to throw it up, but we can see the stats and numbers and stuff.
They were terrible.
This was This was an exact. This was everything that's wrong with this Juventus team. Right, was in this game for my money, and it is disgraceful. It's not that, look, any team can lose to any team, but the problem is that this is what's been going on all year. And instead of taking an opportunity to play Benevento and win your 3 points and keep at least the little bit of pressure that was on Inter, and it was very little, you lose points. I mean, you lose ground to them. I mean, come on, give me a break.
Excuse me, direct. I see a red card. What? That wasn't a red card.
That's a misprint. Sorry about that. You found the mistake.
Let's start to
you found the mistake.
So
there's no red cards.
I think I texted you guys during this game like 15 minutes.
I didn't see the red card.
It's there.
No,
it's in the middle.
At the Benevento.
It has a 1 by accident.
I texted you.
But take it off.
Oh,
I texted you guys 15 minutes in, and I said I would take off 6 players right now and play a man down. That's how bad.
Yeah, you did.
It was disgusting. Very, very bad. Arthur, what team is he playing for? Why is he on this team? Terrible.
That was a nice pass he made. Nice assist.
It was embarrassing, dude. The Lit, worst game he's been since he's been here.
Who?
The Lit.
He was the one over the yesterday.
He was terrible.
He was very
What
shaky.
are you talking about?
So a little bit I saw. I didn't see him do anything.
I'm starting to play about the Pirlo's game at the project. Still, I don't know what he's playing.
No,
he started to play the defense up. Now I see the defense back. And with that defense, in that defense there is Bonucci, which the whole thing he does, the whole thing people like about him is the long pass. He don't even try that now.
He's not even good at it.
He don't even try that now. So they ask, what game will we play? How we are the place? Let's just start. We don't have a midfield, right? The old guy, I would have kept his McCann. The rest, they could go home. All of them.
Pretty much.
Maybe Bentancur, I would have put it to a little bit Mezzala, because he can press the defense, their defense, but not in the place. But not even that. And just to keep McCann and do the midfield all over. That's not the game. I don't know what kind of playing.
So wait. You're saying you don't know? You're saying you don't know? These players don't know. They are lost, dude. They're terrible. It's not.
There's no movement.
It's terrible.
Right? They don't press together. They don't have a shape. They don't move off the ball. They don't know where the person's going to be. When they do have a chance to pass, they mess up the pass. There's so much wrong, and they're so dependent on Ronaldo that sometimes I feel like they go out of their way to try to pass the ball into traffic where Ronaldo is instead of playing another pass. Like, that's a little bit on the players. Like, you can't just try to pass to Ronaldo the whole time. Like, don't you see the game? Haven't you played your whole life? Like, play to the correct spot to get an opportunity. Don't cross the ball to Ronaldo because it's Ronaldo. It's so annoying.
Well,
but we go from there, Frank. We go from there. We know Ronaldo is not Messi, right? He don't like to play 1-2.
Yeah.
He just like to have a good pass to him and him to score, to kick a goal. That's his game, right? The problem is we never get there with pass.
Right, that's what I'm saying. It's
and
not
there. All think I learned all this think through. You know, they were a thing to sell. They are still think to sell the Dybala. It's an old guy who can do something in there.
The only person who can link two passes is the Dybala.
Yeah.
No, nobody else can do that.
By the way, do you have no heat in your house? Why are you wearing 37 layers?
Because it's cold. Let me tell you.
I'm just playing with you. I just noticed that. I'm like, what's going on?
The big issue here, and we're obviously going to get to it, Pirlo is the big issue here. It's what are they doing? They already said, though, they're going to, he's staying, Ronaldo staying, whatever. But when you see Pirlo, 70 minutes, not make a sub until the 70th minute again, after that terrible display, the 70 minutes, you don't know what you're doing. You're in over your head. You notice
something. You notice the people on the bench like Chiellini, Bonucci, Buffon. They talk more than him.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's trying to wake up people.
Listen, let's face it, right? This is Dan just said it. The real thing is, should Pirlo be given another year? Based on how the team has played in the record, the answer is no. No one could defend another year of Pirlo. For the Juventus jersey, the level of play, what he's gotten out of these players, and what you see on the field. If it was not Pirlo, if it was a random guy, he may not even made it to the end of the season. He might have gotten fired after Benevento game.
Christmas.
He might have been fired by this Benevento game. He might have gotten fired. Right now, the question is
Champions League. When they
I'm just saying at the very least, right? The question is how much of it is Pirlo, and how much of it is the team's fault. The guy had never coached anyone, right? You need to know what he can do and not do. Not because he goes to pass his 3-month thesis and he got his license, all of a sudden he's going to coach Juventus. There was people that talk about Pirlo is going to be a tremendous coach because he was a champion on the field. The two things are not related at all in any sport that you've seen, right? They're just not. Because you're a champion, you do stuff naturally on the ball does not mean you know how to coach and put a team in play. So the thing is, should Pirlo be fired based on what he's done with the team? Yes, 100%. Do I think that that's necessarily going to solve everything? Not if you have the same roster and the same people making the same decisions, right? Like if you give Gasperini this team, are they going to play better? Yes.
No,
but they still are flawed.
No,
flawed. No, they would. Gasperini would make them play better.
No, you see, if you want to give a chance to Pirlo, right? The first thing you have to take out all the people: Buffon, Chiellini, Bonucci, Ronaldo, Danilo. Did you see that play? Even in the mistake, Arthur. He wasn't dancing in there. Come on, that's the way
just didn't go to the ball. Like what are you doing? Yeah,
that was bad on so many levels.
All the 2 games he did good when he played midfield. He lost with this game. I want to send him away. It's not good.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing. The team, any coach, right? And you can't say, okay, that's another reason maybe where you shouldn't have put Pirlo in charge. When you have so many senators of Juventus that have just as glorious of a career as Pirlo himself, and now he's their coach. That's another reason not to put Pirlo in this spot, right? Because you need but in the end of the day, you're the coach. You have to make it happen with the players you have.
Even if we give it to Pirlo, the team next year, you take Buffon, Chiellini, Bonucci, Ronaldo out. Those he will be able to coach a team. To say,
no,
to give
I mean, from what we've seen, no.
I don't know.
From what we've seen,
So-
no, he doesn't read the game well. He takes too long to make subs. There's no movement. Don't tell me. So what? You're telling me that Pirlo has this great movement off, but they're not listening to him because they're champions and they don't want to listen to. I don't think that's the case. I don't think they're all saying no. I'm not going
They
to listen
don't
to you.
move it the
Pirlo."
right way. They don't move it the right way.
And by the way, if you want to coach a bunch of young kids, then you don't coach Juventus. You don't coach those teams, right? You go coach Benevento, or you go like you can't coach Juventus and go, but don't give me anyone who has any experience. Like it doesn't work that way.
Sometimes
Right.
you have 4 people up front in line, and nobody that move.
Yeah,
Nobody
no,
that
one moves
all
on
the time.
team.
nobody. Nobody that come back to get the ball. I don't.
There's never movement off the ball to open up space for someone else, to take a defender away, to confuse. There's nothing. There's the basic movement. I mean, you can go watch midget soccer and it's the same crap, except they don't bunch up in a round circle of 11 people. I mean, that's basically it. There's nothing going on.
So here's the problem, though. Pirlo, I don't know. He doesn't deserve to stay, right? We would all agree with that, right?
Yeah.
He wouldn't want him, ideally. Here's the reason why he is staying. They're paying Sarri $17 million to go away right now. They don't have money.
Yeah.
He's staying. I hate to tell you guys, but he's gonna be unless they finish out top 4. I think he's staying because they don't have any money and they're not gonna waste it on.
Well, you just made a good point, Chris. How bad does it have to get where even though it's Pirlo and they know they put him in a tough spot and they could use the excuse of, oh, we're going to renew our team. How bad would it have to get from now to the end of the season for them to even change their mind and say, okay, we're getting rid of Pirlo. And I'm not even saying you have to fire him. Maybe you make him the under 23 coach like you were originally going to do.
They would never do that.
Well, that was what he was going to do originally, right?
But
So,
they kind of did the same thing last year with Sarri. Like it just came out of nowhere in the end. Like, oh, by the way, he's fired. Let's have somebody else. So.
Let's talk about the game. Let's start to talk about the formation he put on the field, right? Now we are at the end of the championship, and now we want to invent Bernardeschi fullback.
He was
listen,
lost.
that's not a bad move. I kind of agree with
Yeah,
that.
but you don't do now. You don't invent. You
Well,
try
listen,
to
it's
fix
versus
the team.
Benevento.
So
It's
you
versus
need
Benevento.
you need defender. Don't think you need defender. You go get Dragosin, the little guy that play defense. You stay with the 3 defender you want.
No, I disagree with that because you're
Yeah,
telling
you
me
disagree.
we can't play with an offensive minded left fullback versus Benevento. We need to have just straight defenders. That just tells you how much wrong is with the midfield and the rest of the team. Don't tell me we lost because we had Bernardeschi playing fullback because he's just not a straight defender. That means there's so much else wrong with the team that you can't have an offensive. Oh, we can't play with Gosens because he attacks on the wing too much. It doesn't make any sense.
Let's just say, right, we play Morata, Ronaldo, and Chiesa up front, right?
Mm-hmm.
So every Colores could do the midfield to do the function of midfield.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's a good point with
go forward.
Yeah, it's a good point with Kovalevsky. I don't think he's found a good spot. It's another reason he hasn't found a good spot for Kovalevsky all year, right? McKennie's been played out of position, right? Either on the wing or he hasn't. This is all reasons why I don't think Pirlo's a good coach. Right now, he's not up to the task because the one thing you were hoping that he had was the ability to say, wow, I played at the highest level for all these years. I know what it takes to play and position people on the field and read the game. And you don't see any of that. You see McKennie playing, then he doesn't play, then he plays on the wing. Then you see Kovalevsky, he takes a step back. Like,
so wasn't there a part of his thesis or whatever was interchangeable positions? We need to be able to play.
Where's that? Yeah. Where's that?
That's why people don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, but they don't move either. So you can't say it's because it's not Holland here from back in the day where it's total football and everyone's no one moves. So my thing is to not know what you're doing and have no movement. It's almost impossible to do.
Yeah.
Then why did you start McCain?
Yeah, that's another question.
Why did it take so long to screech?
Every game, right, guys? We said 70 minutes.
They did 2-3 things the other people didn't do. 2-3 long pass from one side to another. One he was trying to get himself.
Yeah.
Dream.
If it was,
let me
show some life like
and
that.
let me ask you, we all say that we would get rid of every midfielder except McKennie.
yeah,
And this guy's not playing now. He's not even starting. So, like, is he hurt, or do we see the game that different? That Pirlo doesn't think he belongs on the starting with these
But
guys.
it's certo, you don't play him at all.
That's what I'm saying. So I don't
It's
believe
in
that
the
he's hurt.
In the beginning.
it's definitely
I mean-
frustrating when Pirlo does. You can predict at 70th minute he's going to make a sub. When like other coaches like Juric would have taken 5 subs at halftime.
I mean,
Take off
70
5 people.
minutes every time.
Yeah.
Every time. He doesn't make a sub before that. And this is with having 5, by the way,
Yeah,
available. Like, I don't understand. They were playing so good that you couldn't figure out, what can I do to possibly get better than this? Nothing. Hold pat. It's working. Like, that's what you tell me when you wait until 70 minutes, that you're literally looking at the game going, there's not one person I could possibly change here to get to be better.
Yeah.
I have to see more.
No sense of urgency. Like at halftime, we didn't see that. Like, hey, we were playing like crap. Like maybe we should change 1 or 2 players up or something. I don't know. I don't think you can read the game.
so exactly, and that could be a wake-up call to the rest of the team. Like, hey, you're not going to play. Get the ball off the field, and you're going to start playing better. Otherwise, we're going to sub you, right? Like, there's none of that. There's none of that. I think he's scared.
Well, either he's scared or he doesn't have a clear vision, or, because all these players on the field, right? It's one thing to not be able to, you're afraid to take off Ronaldo, but don't tell me the rest of these players he can take off with nobody questioning him.
You could have changed all 11 players this weekend. There was not one person worthy of staying on that field.
That's what I'm saying. So how do you get to the 70th minute going, okay, we're just going to keep eventually we're going to score. Eventually we're going to get – what was the thought process?
I don't know.
And I blame the whole staff, not just Pirlo, by the way. His assistants.
I agree. Somebody should be in his ear. Someone should be in his ear. Like,
I understand that another thing. Tudor, which is the vice, he don't go along with Pirlo.
Oh, really? I haven't heard that.
I read that in the beginning, Tudor was to talk to him, and now lately he's not there. You don't even see him.
And
really?
He, who, by the way, has much more experience than Pirlo, and has been a coach. You think you would listen to him?
So wait, what happened? Why did they stop getting along? Did they do fine?
Because maybe he say he want to say something, or you see something different he don't like.
Yeah, maybe Pirlo wants a yes man, and he's not being a yes man, and he's like, whatever.
But again, then that tells me, a lot of times they tell you good leaders. You know what makes a good leader? If you're a coach or in business, you surround yourself with people that are better than you, that are in areas that you're not your strong suit. So if Pirlo thinks he knows that much, and he's that finished product as a coach, that he won't even want someone with experience giving him different perspective with way, he's really stupid. He's a lost cause.
Ask yourself a question. Why did it take to wait for the 7 minutes to change someone?
Yeah, it doesn't.
When
I
you
don't get
see
it.
something that suck, probably.
It's like clockwork. You can predict it, and you know what subs he's going to make too. That's the worst part. You know exactly
every time. I mean, has he made a sub at halftime yet this season?
No, unless it was injured. Unless it was injured.
Someone injured. And, I have to put somebody else.
I don't even remember that, but me. So, the question is, does he get any credit for the couple people that have played better this year? Chiesa and Danilo. I don't think he gets credit for Chiesa. I think that's Chiesa.
No,
I think that's Chiesa himself. Danilo, maybe, because he played better than, I don't know, if you want to give him credit for somebody. But again, is that just Danilo having a better year?
After the mistake with Benevento,
yeah, that was.
I saw him maul. I said, what is that?
But the first half of the season, he was their most consistent player. Danilo.
That was old Danilo.
The only thing with Pirlo, and what he said before, not having Dybala is a big problem. Even though Pirlo was barely playing Dybala,
but he didn't play Dybala.
That's where I'm not giving the pass.
Excuse. They didn't play him.
I know. Yeah. So I don't even think he knows that. Like, hey, I need him. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, right.
I
thought you were saying
that's where you're missing.
I thought you were saying that you heard Pirlo say that missing Dybala is a big thing, but he doesn't even realize it.
No, if you remember, even the Dybala when he was in shape. There was the question, Morata or Dybala?
Yeah,
he never and when they ask, can they play Ronaldo, Dybala, Morata together? And he said, we see. What do we see?
Again, I don't understand, because if you notice, he has no problem playing Chiesa, Morata, Ronaldo, and Kovalevsky. Four guys together. Why can't
the situation? He's on the field. He deserves to stay in the field, Morata.
No,
No,
Even
but
you
I'm
put
saying-
a Buffon to forward to play, they're better than him.
Buffon.
Except the forward, the way he's playing.
So, but
No,
think of how different. Think how different the team looks if you have Chiesa on the left, Dybala in the middle, Kulusevski on the right, them three right behind one striker. The combinations he'd be able to do with every single one of them, and how different the game would be. He's missing. That's what they're missing.
But would he play like that? Because when he had the ball, he never played him.
He started with the 3-5-2. Then he ended up with the 4-4-2.
Yeah, I mean, he
There's
doesn't
a
know what
lot
he's
of
doing.
people, Milan, Napoli, they play with 4-2-3-1, and they play better than us.
It's
At the end of the day, this roster it sucks. It's not a championship roster, right? Maybe in Serie A I could have won it, but but it's not a Champions League championship roster. There's big problems, but he didn't make anyone better.
Yeah, that's not it. But
He didn't get anyone. He didn't get them to play amazing, and they just came up short.
And too many double, too. Too many double.
But the roster's not his fault.
I just to say once, I just to say at the beginning, right now, the only one we save is Chiesa, right? The few we save is Chiesa. But then again, if you start from the beginning, you make a mistake there, buy him.
Yeah, it was.
Well, that was our whole thing, remember?
You need more award than Chiesa.
That was our whole thing, why we said, we didn't want him, because we were like, we don't need him, right? He's been their best player, right? But we said, do we need him when we got all these other people? We needed midfielders. So, yeah, he turned out to gotten better, right? And we want to build around him, but
if you think
it's still a bad
we're
move.
Midfield now, what we have?
Nothing. Midfield, I honestly would only keep McKennie. The
But
rest I'm over. Bentancur has gotten worse for 3 years.
And McKenna we bought in January, right?
Yeah.
Well, officially, yeah.
Yeah.
We didn't buy it in the beginning.
No, it was a loan.
It was a loan.
But the problem is, guys, we agree with you. Like, we want to keep McKennie and Chiesa, and I would get rid of everyone else. But, like, it's going to be tough to get rid of some of these players.
This is going to be a long project because they're not going to have any money.
That's why I think you're going to see them.
Monday.
You're going to see them move Demiral just to get some money.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
That's
the problem.
Get rid of them. You have to think. You need other people to replace them.
Yep.
Well, that's the problem. I think what Dan is saying is the stuff I've been saying for years with these moves, right? Is if you're trying to make money, let's say next year, right? Okay, instead of getting the ones that you really want to get rid of, no one's going to buy them. So you end up selling a Demiral, a Delit, a Dybala, right? Because
perfect example.
This tell us one simple thing. Even if we love Ronaldo, that scored all those goals for us.
I don't love him.
You cannot keep Ronaldo to play with this player.
No, you have to create. You have to create a different team if you want Ronaldo on it, and they don't have it. So,
but he's staying. I hate to tell you, he's not.
I don't think. I don't think
you think he's staying. I don't know if he's definitely going to stay.
Yeah, but stay with the same team another year long.
It's going to be up to him. If he wants to go, he's going to go. If he doesn't want to go,
listen, he's not going to sign another contract with this team. So at the very least, you keep him another year, and then you're going to lose him for nothing because he's going to go sign somewhere else for free. So I don't think that's smart business.
If we don't get to the fourth place, for sure he's not going to stay.
Yeah, but it's.
Oh yeah, if you don't get the fourth place, he's definitely leaving.
Without the championship, he's not going to.
He's not going to waste the year with no Champions League. 100%.
That's true. If they don't make Champions League, he's going to want to leave.
But look at this team. They don't have enough money. Should you be spending $35 million a year for a Ronaldo on this team?
No.
Like, you shouldn't. You should try to go get yourself $20-30 million, whatever you can get for him, and you should try to, lower the wage bill, right? And guys like Arthur, Rabiot, Ramsey, I think it's addition by subtraction. Like, can you give them away for $5 million? Have someone else pay their salary? Adios.
And this take us always to the coach. You can start a project with all new people, but if the coach is what we saw, I'm good.
Well, that's the other thing. So let's say you were able to spin the roster into a bunch of young people, right, and starting to try a new project. Is Pirlo, from what we've seen, the guy you want starting that project? I don't think so. Like, if anything, he inherited a team that's been playing and winning for 9 years.
What project? The one young guy he has is Fagioli. He doesn't even play. So
that's what I mean. So imagine next year if they were able to spin it, right, and you bring in a bunch of young people. Do you think Pirlo's the one to get those people better? I don't think so.
I don't think Pirlo can coach.
If we go over, the Primavera under 23. Who will have in there?
No one.
Well, that's
It's
a
not.
problem.
It's not a strong. It's not a strong.
Take
youth academy.
it the under 23 from Atalanta.
Yeah.
He has a lot of people in there.
It's because they invested.
Yeah, that's been years where we get all these guys. You're like, oh, part of the deal with Tevez and whatever. We got all these young people. You never see these people even join the league, right? So it's like, what is it? Are you just pulling our leg here? When's the last time you developed? The last person we developed that we brought up was Marquizo, I think.
Yeah,
it was Chiellini Marquizo, I think, from our own thing.
Marquisio, yeah, he was probably
When's the last time we had someone that we had from under 23?
And that's why he was so loved. Yes, he was a great player, but he was also their player,
Yeah, but I'm saying that's pretty bad, right? Like you have all the money in the world to play with, and even when you get some young people, you sell them because, like Dan said, they're the only ways you can make some money. Why? So you can bring in another Arthur and Ramsey that you're paying what, 10 million a year? How much are these guys making?
I don't know. I hate talking about this team.
Let's give Benevento a little credit. Montipo played good. I give Montipo credit. Lapadula ran his ass off. He busted his ass for 80 minutes, 70 minutes. More than I can say for any
league coaching.
More than I can say for any Juventus player. The guy moved and tried. But I mean, that's a very good win for them. Because
that could save them.
Slumping. Yeah, exactly.
That could save them for the whole season now, right?
A win like that. At least,
I'm glad. I'm glad Chesney didn't
if you see the shot on goal where like you see 21 and we couldn't score a goal.
Yeah.
So we're still a little bit like Ronaldo all the time.
We're not mentioning Chiesa taking the semi-dive in the box when he could have easily went over.
That's a penalty too, but we're gonna stay there.
But he's still. You can go over. You have a scoring chance. Like he goes down too easy. The same thing we've been saying.
Yeah, I think that's a bad thing for Chiesa. I hope he breaks that habit because he plays so good, and then he has these moments where it's easy for the announcer to go, "Oh, look, he threw himself on the floor." Just play the game. Just play the game. Try to score. If you get knocked down for real, you get knocked down. But don't try to be like, "Oh, I got knocked down." Why? So Ronaldo can go score on the penalty? Just play the game. Like
you understand why he did it, but at the same time, if you would have just went over him, you would have had a clear scoring chance for your team. Like, go play the game.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you think you're being smart, but it's like that's when I think there's too much. Like how can I get a penalty here? You need to get a penalty, a fake penalty versus Benevento to get back in the game. Like just play.
They were crying about a bunch of handballs and any advantage they can get. They cry for it. So,
and here's the thing: the more I know, we're saying, oh, like we're gonna get Chiellini and blah blah blah.
I see at the chat a fan say, "I'd rather have a Chester Lee coaching." Who's Chester Lee?
Chester Lee, remember Ladybugs? The coach, Ronnie Dangerfield.
I was. Yes. Penny Pester, you're in a different time zone. You can just put Bonucci's name in there. You can put Arthur.
She's saying take Chesney, Ronaldo. I don't know. Radiotherapy. She means Rabiot. I don't know. Bonucci and
Bonucci has to go. Bonucci has to go.
Yeah. Listen, where's he going? He's not going anywhere.
He's not going anywhere. Listen,
let it go. Let it give it to the paper.
As much as I'm a critic of Paratici, if he was able to get rid of these people, I would change my mind and say he's executive of the year because no one's going to take these guys.
Get rid of them for 5 cents on the dollar? Because that's what
I mean. I don't even think you could do that because the guy's going to go, wait, I have to pay him $10 million.
Because they make so much. Because they make so much money.
You're not getting
his forehead.
For some 10, 15 million, a lot of teams.
Go back to Milan. Yeah, go back to Milan. That's what I said. At this point, trade Romagnoli for him. Let's get him on the team.
Well, that was another stupid move, right? Like we got rid of Bonucci, and then we were dumb enough to buy him back.
Yeah, it's just stupid.
I would take Renault at this point.
All right, let's move on for this game. I can't talk about them. The only other thing I was going to say that Allegri's been in the news. Like he had an interview this weekend too, talking about Juventus. They asked him a bunch of questions, and Juventus was one of the things. And one of the questions they asked him, would you return to Juventus? And he didn't say no, but he didn't say yes.
Listen, I don't think that's a good move anyway. Like
I don't think so either.
They did that great with Allegri.
They
played better than this.
Allegri, we like the way we play.
We didn't like
Yeah.
it. So, like, again, I don't want to go back. That's like no salute. But I can see Juventus doing that, right? Like, let's bring back Allegri.
I totally could see them doing that.
Why?
Yeah.
It's so many teams do that. Like, you didn't play great when he was here. Why are we bringing him back?
You know, there is 2 coach you can play. The first one is Gasperini. So with the hope you can take some guy from Atalanta to us.
Gasperini or Zidane.
In Mihajlovic.
Or Mihajlovic.
That would be an interesting one. Yeah.
Mihajlovic would do good. You know, I think Zidane's going to be Juventus coach eventually. I don't know when.
Anyone who costs money
is not the one. If he doesn't have a player, he cannot do nothing.
Well, that's most of these coaches, right? The only coach that really does a lot with, and you can't say Gasperini doesn't have players.
Gasperini is sure he can do without it.
Yeah.
Well, they have good players. They're just not known players.
It's not only that, like, he improves the players. Like, he teaches the players. It's different than what Pirlo's doing with these players.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If you wanted to start a new project, to the point that we were saying earlier, then I would put Gasperini there, right?
It doesn't matter. He's not leaving, but
but I don't see why would you leave Atalanta to go to Juventus?
No,
I mean,
he's
I think
not
he would. I think he would. He would to go play champion. Well, now he's in the Champions League, but you know,
he might make a little
they
bit.
don't have money. It's not happening. Don't worry.
You talk, it doesn't never mind.
Let's go to another game. I'm sick of talking about. I'm sure we'll talk about them during these other games too. Somehow it always goes back to them. So Dom, throw up another game. I don't care which one you go to. Ooh, Rome really showing what they're made of again. I don't know. Did you guys watch this?
It was 2-0 sloppy.
2-0 Napoli.
I picked Napoli, didn't I?
I think we all did, didn't we? I don't remember.
I might have picked tie.
But this game, Rome is played so bad in the first half, and Lopez should not see the field for a third division team, let alone a first division team. Yeah, gets beat on his post on a free kick. Yes, it was a nice shot, but, like, come on, man. Like, you have to say something.
Where he should be, where the goal should be. Should have got it like this if he wasn't done.
Yes, exactly. What is he doing? Yes, I know that they had a lot of people on the wall, and Napoli had people up front blocking the view, but, like, do you know what you're supposed to be doing? Like, I don't understand.
Well, again, okay. So let's take this then. So we agree Lopez is not good, right? But at what point is that the coach's fault for Rome?
Yeah, but what else do they have?
I mean, I don't know. You don't have a young kid. You don't have a young kid that's better than that.
Well, here's what I would say.
They have a Mirante took his place.
Morante, who's not played good either. They have Fusato, who they got back, who's been wanting to play and has some promise, and they don't play him. I would play Fusato at this point.
Listen, I would play Morante over Lopez, get him back in form, and he'd be better than Lopez.
It's bad. Their goalie situation is very, very bad. You know, they went from Allison, who was cream of the crop, sold them for a record, and they've been crap since they sold them. Like, they've really hurt on that end. You can understand why they sold them, but just awful goaltending. They play maybe one good game out of 10, and then 9 terrible ones. It's really bad. At the same point, Pedro can't play. You know, he played terrible. Yeah, he should be on the team.
The whole team did, dude. Diawara shouldn't see the field.
All this, Napoli's going to kick ass to us.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
They play a good game.
Yeah.
Gattuso's a good coach.
Yeah. And they have a good roster.
He's going to get fired.
Is this weird as a Juventus fan? I almost want to see us just crash really bad the rest of the year, where they're forced to make a decision. Not that I want to miss the Champions League because they'll really have no money. But
we're going back to Juventus again. But yes, it depends what you want from them. Do you want everyone out? You want Pirlo out? Then yeah, go ahead, crash. Like, get it over with. Let this be the year that they crash and it's done, and you're finally deciding to rebuild. But
you can't say Napoli doesn't play better than us in terms of style.
Napoli plays better with style. They play better fitness, better technically. They're coached better. They have a deeper roster. Their roster is better than Juventus' roster.
If you think about it, they have out Lozano and Osimhen.
Yeah.
And they have Manola and another guy, Radam.
Mm-hmm.
Napoli needs fullbacks. That's what they need. They need a left back. Rui can't play. He's not a good player. You know, they have Di Lorenzo on the other side. He's okay, but this is the formation I want Juventus to play with Dybala in the middle right there. You see where Zielinski is? Put Dybala there, put Chiesa, put Kulusevski on the side there. Watch how good they play together. That's what I want to see them do. But yes, when Napoli plays Juventus, Napoli's going to kill them. They're going to destroy them. The way those two teams are playing right now, and they're beating some good teams right now.
When do they play?
As soon, I think. Yeah, soon. April, like less than a month.
Yeah.
Mertens scored his 100th goal for Napoli in the league. They just played an overall better game. Yeah, Rome hit the post.
Oh, he live out by Bakako.
Yeah, Bakayoko not playing. Like they have a deep team.
Lobonta is out.
Lobotka,
better team than ours.
Mm-hmm. They have two goalies better than our goalie. Ospina and Merritt, I'm counting better than Chesney.
Listen, Chesney, I've been saying that for a while. I've never thought he was that great. Honestly,
I don't either.
I honestly would have kept Buffon for the last 2 years and saved the money on Chesney.
I don't like them either. Chesney either, but I don't think Ospina and Merritt are anything special.
Ospina's a very good goalie.
Ospina's good. Really good. I mean, he's all right. I don't think they're technically that much better than Chesney, honestly, but neither of them are like you can say number ones in the world. That's who Juventus had in goal for 20 years, the number one in the world, right? That's why
that's what you compare it to.
And now we have Scrub O'Shez or whatever his name is.
Rome. I mean, they did advance. They're the only Italian team to advance in a European tournament, so they got that going for them. But like Dzeko's past it. Like,
I ate Atalanta Verona 2-0. I say, right?
We're not there yet.
Yeah, we'll get to that. Yeah,
yeah. He just wants his credit for his picks.
Rome plays like that in the Euros, and they're out. They're gonna get killed.
Who are they playing, Chris?
Ajax. I think.
Ajax. Yeah.
Oof.
So yeah, I mean, Ajax isn't what they were a couple of years ago. But they're not a bad team.
Really bad year though for Italian showings, huh?
It's embarrassing.
Like terrible. This is really bad in all the cups.
Yeah. But even with Napoli playing good, they're still talking. There's reports of selling two really big players like Koulibaly in the summer, selling another player, getting rid of Gattuso. Like they want to maybe possibly makeshift the whole thing like we want Juventus to do, and possibly they're the team that's going to do it. Because you know how the De Laurentiis is with his,
well, the difference is they have players that they can cash in on, right? Koulibaly,
yeah, totally. Yeah.
They can get a good amount of money for a couple of players. I don't know why the thing is then you got to replace them to the point earlier. And it's like, are you getting better or are you just taking steps backward? That's the question.
Well, that's the problem. Do they really ever bring players in? Like, who was their signing this season?
Osimhen. Osimhen was like $100 million or something, wasn't he?
Maybe.
It's all about reinvestment. If you reinvest the right way, then go ahead, get rid of whoever the hell you want. If you do what Juventus is doing, then no, don't sell your players because you're going to bring in crap players.
Well, exactly. Like if you're just going to get somebody who's free because you're not paying anyone, but you got to pay him a huge stipend to get him to come to your team, and you're stuck with a mediocre scrub who makes $12 million.
Yeah,
like it's not good.
So anyway, a very good result for them. Another bad result for Rome against a top team. They can't beat any good teams. They only beat crap teams. And not even that. Beyond that, right? Like
I don't think Napoli is that amazing of a roster, but together they improve each other, right?
Yeah,
they have a style of play.
But their coach talks to them.
That's that's probably part of it.
And their players
kind of play too.
Their players love their coach.
Yeah.
Which is not a sense I get from Pirlo. They don't go up to him, hug him, lift him in the air.
I couldn't even tell you. Do they like him? Like, I don't even know.
I don't know. I know they're friends. Like, Buffon's friends with him, but
look at Inzaghi when Benevento won.
Yeah, they went. Well, that was.
Yeah,
I know, but they all went nuts, right? He went nuts like he was a player again, right?
Yeah.
If Pirlo won the Champions League, what would he do? Take a hand out of the pocket and go like this? Like, I don't even know. What would Pirlo do?
Perfect example. They love Gattuso. McKennie, when he got signed permanent, what does Pirlo say? If he thinks he's made it, he's got nothing. He's got another thing coming to him. He's got to still prove. He's got to still do. I understand why he's saying that, but
that's true.
Can you give the kid a little encouragement? Like, he hasn't been bad for you. Like, why are you treating him like crap?
Their best player.
Yeah, like that's the difference that I see in Gattuso and him.
He went from like the one that was playing all the time to all of a sudden like he can't start, and it was like, and that's why I think that to me points to a coach who doesn't really have a good understanding, because like you need to have your base people that you can count on, right? I feel like Gattuso has that. Like Pirlo's like, I don't know. I'm gonna put whoever in.
I'm not saying. I'm not saying anyone's against Pirlo, but they're not fighting for the Napoli fights for Gattuso.
No, Pirlo doesn't inspire anyone. Gattuso, and he's out there like being the 12th man for you, yelling and screaming, and wants to. He would kick the ball for you as a player. You want to run through a wall for Gattuso, right?
Yeah, because they know he would die for you, so we're gonna do the same to him. So that's what
that exactly. Like tactically, I still have my doubts whether or not Pirlo is a true genius. Let's say about is he going to fix the game on the fly, but in terms of getting his team ready to play and trying hard and fighting to the last minute, like Gattuso is going to do that.
But so that's the difference. All right, so let's just. I know we always go back to Juventus, but that game they just played versus Benevento. You don't think Gattuso was making 5 subs at halftime?
Oh yeah, I mean I don't think Juventus shows up the way they did versus Benevento if Gattuso was their coach.
I don't think
they make it.
Napoli's have some stickers too. It's not like they,
True, but I think to your point, at halftime there's 5 subs and he's yelling the crap out of everyone.
I think he's slapping somebody in the locker room.
Exactly.
I mean, how many times have we seen Juventus come in at a halftime and go, "Oh my God, they're probably getting their asses reamed at halftime," and they come out worse in the second half than they did in the first.
They can't be the same. They can't be
more asleep, and you're like, "Wait, what the hell?"
Yeah.
Like they deserve, to be in the second half.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's go to another game because this game, it was really one-sided. Like I said, Roma had a couple chances, but nothing much. It was basically all Napoli.
They played terrible.
It was a really bad performance from them.
Roma's another team that has to make a lot of changes, right? Because if you look at their team, I mean, organizationally, they've had their issues. They're left with no defenders. Cristante is playing defense. Dzeko's old. Right, and he thought he was going to be sold, and they kept him. Like they have a lot of problems on their roster too.
And they're always another team that's saying Fonseca's getting fired. This one that they want to get rid of him constantly. So there's no continuity in that team.
Every other week,
and their best player's hurt right now. It's a lot.
Yeah, Zaniolo is supposed to be coming back in April. I think that's the what they're saying.
Well, let's hope they give him enough time.
Because
exactly. Yeah.
He needs some time to.
I don't count on him. No, I don't even want him to come back. I want him to come back next season.
Me too.
Dom, go to I don't know. Go to Verona Atalanta. 2-0 Atalanta from Verona. It's the same thing we've been saying all year. They have 0 strikers. You saw that in this game, especially on Verona's end. Lovato, I know we love him. He got manhandled by Zapata a few times, like just out-muscled. Quickness, strength. Again, he's a very young kid, and Zapata's like a beast. But
Lovato played the worst game in Verona.
He played terrible. Yeah,
he played the worst game.
It was really bad.
Yeah, that's the risk of having those 18-year-olds, right? Because it's kind of those stickers come up for sure.
Lovato, he plays first game, but take for example in that situation, if instead of Lovato, that was Delete would jump with his leg in front, at least, to block. He didn't even try that.
But you see the difference of build in Delite and Lovato. Delite has tree trunks for legs. Like Lovato needs to build up and
first of all, no one's disputing Delite. He's one of the few players that we actually like.
Yeah.
Like we're not trying to get rid of. I'm saying Delite might be a guy you sell.
No, I was compare when you play against someone better.
Yeah.
Hey, Lovato, he played the worst game.
But what you can say is at least it's a learning experience from him. He's on the field. He's learning.
I was compare when someone it's even when Lukaku meet a good defender.
Yeah. Well, in fact, Lovato played really good versus Lukaku the first game versus Inter. That's where I got most impressed by him. But yeah, to your point, that's why we talk so much about Chiellini, right? Because most of the time, if you have a bad defender on you, you're eaten up by good forwards. This was a bad game by Lovato. Hopefully, he does learn something from it. But Verona though they usually play. I mean, the thing we were saying about them at the beginning of the year was, they play good versus good teams. They raised the level. But they weren't really that competitive in this game.
No, this game could have been 5-6 goals. They hit a couple posts. Silvestri made some saves. It could have been a lot more than 2-0. I know he picked 2-0. He got it correct. but it could have been way more than
Another
that.
thing, so did you see about this game, right? Did you see Gasperini? He played 3-5-2.
Yeah, he switched it up.
Yesterday he played 4-3-1-2.
Mm-hmm.
Or 4
Yeah, he changes.
Yesterday he played 4 defender.
Listen, and did you
4-2-3-1
see his defenders?
he played.
His defenders on the outside, Toloy and Jim City, 2 central defenders. He doesn't have his outside defenders. They adapt. He changes things, and that's what your team's supposed to do when you don't have the players and you're a coach. You have to.
Well,
know
one
what
thing
you're
he
doing.
does is he defines the roles and what's expected to everyone really well.
Like
Because when someone gets in their spot, they know what to do. They don't look like a fish out of water.
I read that Verona Atalanta, Juric, he was the vice of Gasperini, so they played the same game,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yesterday, Gasperini changed the formation 4-2-3-1, and they say he confused Juric.
Yep.
He
Because
don't
he's
even
a
know what to
coach.
do.
He's a coach who knows what he's doing and can adapt and change. And he knows, hey, this coach worked with me. He knows what I'm going to do. I have to change things up. And you saw they had no chance against Atalanta.
I'm not going to lie. Like, if Juventus picked Gasperini, I would have – my only doubt would be, do they give him enough time to be successful? Not whether or not he would be the right choice to make
I
them.
not
guess
like-
they give it the time and they give it to Pirlo.
Yeah, not like when Gasperini coached Inter
they
and
don't
got 4
make-
games and got fired.
Now you think if you think Gasperini, if you go there, he play with the player we have? No, I don't think so.
Well, 2 things.
Might
I
be
think
up
if
there.
he got the same roster, he would get more out of them. Don't you think Bentancur
No.
McKinney? No. Listen.
When you have a kid leader, Bonucci, you don't get the same game.
Yeah, they're not going to be making runs in the center of the field.
No. I'm not saying the same game as Atalanta. I'm saying, don't you believe that if
They would be
instead
playing
of
better.
Pirlo, we had Gasperini, same roster, that our team would play better?
Yeah.
Then they're playing with Pirlo?
I think Bernardeschi would be really good if Gasperini.
Bernardeschi would be better. Kovalevsky, McKennie,
Yeah.
Bentancur. These guys would be playing better. I have no doubt.
Yeah.
If we had Gasperini.
I agree.
And we didn't even talk about a lot, really, individual players. Zapata played well. Manovsky scored a penalty. Like I said, they were missing some players. Marinchuk didn't play well. He's been subpar.
He's been not. Yeah, I expected more from him.
Frank, Gasperini to make this play better, he should get rid of the Ronaldo and everything else.
Yeah, I get it.
Cannot
But
afford to have someone who goes to press.
No, I get it 100%. But I'm just saying, just 1 for 1, right? If you could only replace the coach, I think he would have figured out a way to improve some people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or to say, look, I got to find the best group for what I have, right?
Yeah, but
you
also has to take a decision to have some people out on the field.
Yeah. And he might have said, look, you're out. Like, you're not going to run. I'm not going to play. Yeah, he might, that's all part of it. And I
don't think anyone's taking Ronaldo off. So
Why?
it's not happening.
Because he's a crybaby. You know that.
He is a crybaby.
Ronaldo, when he wants to play Real Madrid, he had the beautiful team.
Yeah.
He didn't have the scrum.
Yeah, but he also never came out. Even though they had a beautiful team.
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, but he used to have a lot of ball to kick a goal.
Listen, it's the same discussion we've had since Christian Vieri was on Juventus and on the Italian team. If you don't get crosses to your and balls to your forward, it doesn't matter who you have, they can't score. Remember how many times Italian national teams would be like, it doesn't matter who the forward is, we haven't gotten a ball up there yet. So it's the same difference. Like, same as Zapata, right? Like, would Zapata score all these goals if they never created chances? Now, the difference is you see Atalanta creates chances for the forwards, but also the midfielders, the wings, the fullbacks, because they all move and they play the ball quick into space. But that's the difference.
And then they have
not
lots
just
of Ronaldo. It's not just
Ronaldo. More, and the way they move,
that's what I'm saying.
They run 9 minutes, which we don't do at all.
Listen, to create danger, right? To create danger, you want to move the ball with speed and you want to play into space, right? If you play quickly into space, the defense is always chasing you. It's going to create opportunities for different people. but you need people to run and you need people to know where your teammate's going to run to and play the ball quick. We don't do any of that.
Are we still talking about Juventus? They go
No,
back.
I'm talking about Atalanta. What makes Atalanta good?
Yeah, okay.
We tried to create a game for Juventus.
And that comes down to training too. Like
Yeah.
they train way harder. They train and they train with purpose. It's not dicking around.
How does Gasparini get these guys to run for 90 minutes? To your point, like nonstop.
I think they're on like horse steroids.
I think they're doped up or something, right?
One of the
They are
players.
drug or what?
How does he get that?
Let's go to Dom. We have one more game. Yeah, Fiorentina versus
That
Milan.
was a steal.
So really quickly, this game, I don't know. Jugrowski didn't start because he wasn't in net.
No, Jugrowski did start. He got hurt.
Oh, well, I caught this game late. Jugrowski.
He hurt his ankle. They took him out.
So I didn't see the beginning. If he's playing the whole game, this is a tie or a Fiorentina win. Because
that's a steal from Milan.
Oh, that was awful, that goalie.
Yeah, he was
like Juventus didn't get a penalty with Benevento. Fiorentina didn't get penalty with the Ribery.
Yeah, there was that too. But their backup goalie, Terracino or whatever his name is,
he was lost.
He was lost out there. It was really bad. The ball floated over his head. He just looked at it, and luckily it hit the post. And it was like, "Hey, dude, you want to back up? Like it's right next to you. Like, can you just move?"
It was they could have tied or won this game.
Actually, I always criticize this year the defense in Serie A has gotten so bad. I feel like there's been some bad goalie play too, which you never used to see.
There has, but there's strong goalies in the league.
No, they're strong, of course, but like these guys that are coming in, it's like where the hell have you been? Why are you second goalie?
So I think a lot of it too is that the goalies are playing now more at their feet, so there's more opportunity for them to look stupid.
But
it's not just that, just like actual saves.
Oh yeah,
what the hell are you doing? Like, do you know how to position yourself in a net? Like, I don't understand what they're doing at the time.
He played awful. It was bad.
A lot of people, which I spelled his name right wrong, Tomori. A lot of people were praising Tomori, saying he played good. Kyer had 2 assists, I believe. Ibra came back, scored very quickly in the game. Donnarumma, even the penalty, the kick that Polgar scored.
Besides Fiorentina Milan, the goal that Ibrahimovic scored, he wasn't good because he pushed the defense.
Well, they didn't call it though, so it counted.
They didn't call. And the defense didn't call. Fiorentina decided.
I'm not the rest. Don't yell at me.
At this point, I'm hoping Milan somehow beats Inter for the first place, even though
For
it's
sure.
not going to happen.
I am Milan's #1 fan right now. Like
you know what they say today? I heard something on TV. About the VAR and the Asli. It's they the same. The VAR they call it whatever they want, whatever call. And the Asli the same thing. Some people they can stay home and play. Some team, and some team they have to go to play.
Well, that's my question, right?
There isn't a rule equal for everybody.
That was my question about. So Juventus got the game canceled, right? Postponed. And then Inter used the same rules, so we can't really complain. They call up and go, "We got 2 people," and they get it postponed.
Well,
but how many small teams?
They went with 10 people.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. How many teams went with like 11 people missing and had to play?
But it's different when you have the health authority and the government. They're getting involved. You can't really go against that. I don't blame anyone getting a game postponed for COVID. There's more important things to do than soccer.
Why did these other teams not get it postponed? Were they too stupid to ask?
You see that the things Inter didn't play, but now they have about 10 or 12 people that go on the national team.
Yeah, that's stupid.
But they were trying to get their players not to go too. Conte didn't want anyone to go, and he was vetoed against that, and all the players went.
Yeah, so why they don't go play with Sassuolo?
Because it's different rules. There's different. I don't know.
It depends. The league does what they want.
Yeah, listen. Like I said, Juventus used it with Napoli. So to be fair, fine. Inter used it.
We play with 3 people. They leave to Quadrado somebody else with the COVID.
Yeah,
we didn't call the game.
But what about the other teams that played with like 10 people with COVID and they had like youth players playing?
Well, yeah, but Torino got 2 games delayed, and it's not like they were just like they're just dicking over certain teams. Like they can suspend only so much. Eventually, you have to play games, and the season's never going to end.
Genoa at the beginning went with the 10 people all the time.
Yeah,
that was my question.
So
how many people is the cutoff? Like, how many did Inter have that they were like, you can't play?
I don't think there's a set number. I think
he's got 37 on the roster. So
there's a lot. There's a lot of other factors.
Unless they said you couldn't travel, like they couldn't fly.
Well, that's the thing. The local governments, they have their say in it, and you can't really go against it. So they were told they can't do it.
No, I'm not saying they should have played. I'm just saying the other teams, I feel like other smaller teams could have taken weeks where they played and they played anyway.
Yeah, that's possibly true. There's no perfect solution to this. Nobody really knows what they're doing in any format of any part of the world. So I'm not going to blame the league or certain teams.
I think VAR is way worse than the whole COVID thing because at least COVID.
Yeah.
I think VAR
is way too inconsistent. Yeah, it's messed up. But going back to this game, you're right. I mean, I think they were lucky to get 3 points from this one. Just pretty much given. They were given this game by Fiorentina. You guys have any thoughts on this?
Polgar's free kick was all right.
It was all right, but at the same time, like Donnarumma was a little weird on that one too. I don't know. It was a very nice shot, but he did get his hand on it. So anytime I see a goalie with their hand on it, I expect them to save it. I don't know. But yeah. Tom, go to the rest of the schedule, and we'll just run down the other games real quick. We talked about Inter. I was going to get to that when we did this, but yeah, they didn't play. It was a chance for Juventus to pick up 3 points, and every other team to pick up 3 points.
Hey, did you see Crotone from 2-0?
I know. I was gonna mention that Crotone.
That was a good game.
So Parm was winning 1-0. Maka scores 2 goals off the bench. They win 2-1. Parm had a lot of chances in this game too.
Parma played good.
They played really well. I really like what Parm's doing with the young players. But they played really well. They deserve better than a 2-1 loss. Crotone was up 2-0. Bologna comes back, scores 3 goals. Mihailovic, good coach. They play for him. They fight for him. Spezia 2-1 over.
Mihailovic, you can kick ass if you get up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Listen, and Mihailovic was just as much a champion as Pirlo. But look at the difference.
Yeah,
right? Look at the difference in styles.
Yeah. Right?
Like you got one guy who grabs his team by the neck and is like, "Come on, let's play," and the other guy who I think he's asleep half the time.
Yeah.
Totally agree. Spezia big win over.
Mambo, like to listen.
And listen, he has an advantage. No fans. Imagine if Pirlo was trying to coach with 50,000 people yelling. Would the team even know he's on the field?
Throwing stuff at him.
He did get a yellow card. He said something stupid to the fourth official and got a yellow card, so he's got that.
He go nice and talk at the end of the game. We go to the ref and talk nice.
Whatever. I'm sick of him. I don't want to talk about him anymore. Spezia, big win for them too. 2-1 over Cagliari. Cagliari keeps losing. They're in trouble. I thought they have a good enough roster to not get relegated, and they keep losing.
They shouldn't get relegated.
They should not get relegated with that team. Samp over Torino. Samp's goal was really beautiful. Started at the left defensive fullback. They went all the way up the sideline. Ojella dribbled somebody, went around, passed it to the middle to Quags. He passed it over to Kondreva. Bottom corner finish. It was a really beautiful team goal.
Juventus hasn't done that once.
Yeah, I don't see Juventus doing that at all. But
no.
Big win for them. Torino loses another one. They're in danger. They have a worse team than Cagliari. Lazio 1-0 over Udinese. I can tell you, Musso. I saw the highlights of this one. Musso made a lot of.
Lazio didn't deserve to win.
Yeah, Musso made a lot of saves. The ball hit the post. It could have easily been like a 1-1 draw, but Marisic scored a nice goal. That's the only way you can get the ball past Musso. You have to score a nice one because he's not going to let in crap ones. What else? And then the other games we talked about. Dom, throw up the standings. There wasn't a lot of movement this week, I know. It was pretty much standard, especially on the left side. There was nothing.
Already practice.
Yeah, it sucks because with their new coach, they've been playing a lot better, but scoring goals. But I mean, they're too far now. It's not enough. 10 games left.
Yeah, Juventus.
Well, if they get
isn't
30
gonna make-
points out of 30.
Juventus isn't making top 4, guys.
Yeah, well, that's what I wanted to talk about. There
Yeah.
are 3 teams legit close to them that can. I mean, if Napoli beats Juventus, Juventus is not making the top 4.
No, this could be a real disaster because, listen, they could have no money. I mean,
Yeah.
Atalanta, I fully expect to pass Juventus and probably Milan by the time it's all said and
Me
done.
too.
I think they're going to pass them, even though they were disgraced versus Real Madrid, and I really thought they could have. They did not show up the way I thought. So, but still, I think Atalanta is gonna come in second. Milan, how much do they falter? Right, you got to figure, do they hold on to at least one of those top 3 points? So you're battling Napoli. I'm not even going to put Rome in there.
No, Roma.
Right? I don't think Rome has
no,
a chance.
No,
But can you? The question is, will you beat Napoli? Well, when you play that game, if you lose, you're then a point behind them, right? So that game with Napoli Juventus is probably going to decide 4th place.
Yeah.
It's they put themselves in it.
Hey, you want to see something? When we play Napoli, we're going to play for the tie, and we're going to lose.
Yeah, maybe. I wouldn't be so shocked, which would be ridiculous. But I mean, the thing is with Juventus, you can't even tell when they're playing for a tie. They just suck anyway.
Yeah,
so we don't create any chances. It's not like you can tell. Well,
Exactly.
we're playing for the tie. Why? You don't do anything anyway. But they're going to be in real trouble, right? Because like Milan, I think they had their worst spell, and they seem to be playing a little bit better now, right?
They weathered it now. Now they should be able to get back on track. Yeah.
And Atalanta, I have more faith in them over the final 10 weeks than Juventus to play more consistently.
Yeah.
So it's really going to come down to Napoli, Juventus, and if Juventus loses, they might be watching everything from home next year.
When we come back, we play Torino after the national team.
I know. Can you see that? The derby. Torino sucked all season. Can you see them, pulling out a tie?
I see them stealing a point there for sure with the derby. And Torino sucks this year, but I can definitely see them stealing a point.
I wish they were fans.
Yeah, but Torino with Nicola is doing good.
They're doing better.
Listen, they're not doing good. They're doing better. They're not doing good.
They do better, but they do since they changed the coach.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's. I mean, look, you're not guaranteed a place in the top 4, but that's a real disgrace, right? If they fall out of the top 4, I think Pirlo has a chance to get fired if they fall out of the top 4, because that's just a lot of.
I mean, just to cap it off with them, I know we talked about them a lot, but we didn't expect them to win every single year. It's already 9 years in a row. That's great and all. You know they're going to lose eventually, but the way they lost this year, that you can't accept. I can accept the second place where you gave it all your all. It was the last couple of weeks, but this is awful.
The Benevento, this week's loss to Benevento just caps it all up, right? Just shows a team that's not ready to compete every week. Just not mentally, physically.
Going back with this cheese made that we have, you don't even put a fagioli just to try.
That's my thing. Like, come on,
right? And again, doesn't that land on Pirlo? Doesn't that land on Pirlo? Like, you don't start McKinney, you don't play fagioli.
You don't play good, and you don't. You never try nothing.
He's not going to do that. He's not.
We'll see. Dom, go to our players of the week. I think Chris will you guys should get a chuckle out of this one.
Yeah.
Would you put Scrub Lord?
Yeah, he's a Scrub Lord.
No, I don't put him on tape. No, I don't put him on tape.
Well,
I didn't want to put anyone. I put him down.
If you think about Montipo, he did the save on his Colin.
The last 15 minutes, listen, they were nothing amazing. They were nothing amazing. But the last 15 minutes, he made the saves when he needed to.
Yeah, look at our picture really quick.
Scrub Lord, yeah. His point is the best point that we didn't mention. Barba, the central defender for Benevento, had the best shot for Juventus. He flopped it over people and he made a beautiful save. That was the best shot Juventus had all game, and that was the best save he made. Yeah.
No, there was there was a couple saves that.
No, that's the best save.
Nothing was spectacular.
I did the Morata. He won away, and then you give it to him.
Okay, but if you've watched this show and you know Frankie, he picks somebody from the Juventus and whoever they're playing, so he had to pick somebody from Benevento.
I didn't know. In my defense, I didn't I could pick Arthur for Benevento because I tried that in a previous week, and I was told that no, I can't do that.
Well, I thought it was funny. I don't know. I'm done with Juventus.
So I would change mine.
I would add Danilo describe.
Yeah, I was gonna say you pick Danilo and he picks Arthur.
I think we should add Scrub of the Week.
Go to
our actual.
Yeah, I think so. That's
Scrub of the Week is better than Stars of the Week. I think we
can do that next week. We can do a Scrub of the Week.
No, think about the scrub. We don't do the scrub. The best and the best to save.
Yeah,
the
I think that's better.
Yeah. And I picked Skamaka. Like I said, he came off the bench and he scored 2 goals.
Skamaka, he don't convince me.
Well, listen, Milan's gonna spend $40 million on him and waste some money, so they can have him.
They try to sell to Juventus 25, 30 million.
Yeah, please.
I'd rather have him than Vlahovic or whatever. I like Skamaka.
I think they're both gonna spend way too much money on both those players, whoever buys them. So,
did we go over our picks from last week? Do we know who got what right or anything?
We didn't. We usually do that when we do the. Yeah, Dom, why don't you tell us while you bring up the roster for the World Cup qualifier? What you can tell us.
Scrub Lord.
Okay, so you got the Atalanta game correct, 2-0. You said that. Good job. We all got it right. We didn't get the scores right. Yeah. Okay, so we all picked
the game.
We all picked tie for Napoli, Rome, and Frank picked Napoli. So that was the only correct ones. We suck at this.
We do.
And the Inter game got postponed, so nobody got that.
Well, we have tremendous goalies. I'm surprised Sirigu made it the way he's playing.
Why is Pirlo not there?
I was pissed. I was pissed with this. Why is Sirigu on there? Why is Meret on there? Perrine should be on there. Silvestri should have his shot. Neither of these guys are going to play anyway. Let them play on the national. Let them at least go and train with them and be a part of something. I don't like that selection.
Well, Cranio and Donnarumma are probably going to be part of the actual team, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So they still need to find that third. And Moret's not bad.
It should be Perrine.
Perrine made a lot of sense again this week.
Sirigu is going to be the third one.
He's been
just
good
for experience, but he's played so bad this year. I love Sirigu normally. He's
not to play and then play.
I mean, if you're going to take Sirigu, put Buffon there instead. Like, I'd rather just have him there.
Why not Buffon for experience? Might as well. Yeah.
So I don't agree with the picks on the goalie, but again, neither of those two are going to play anyway.
Let's look at the defenders.
Yeah, looking through this.
The guy I would have taken out Biraghi at the defense.
Yep, he doesn't belong on the team, 100%.
Either with Bonucci or Chiellini.
Bonucci and Chiellini out.
Chiellini deserves it. He's good.
Dude. He's
There's no future. You're also trying to qualify.
He's not.
He's not. When you remember, we didn't make the last World Cup.
Yeah, but you have a Bastoni.
So. We didn't make the last World Cup, so we
don't have a good. We have a champion, Bastoni.
I mean, if I'm starting my central defense with this, I'm putting a Chervi and Bastoni in the middle of the field for me. That's who I'm starting with. The rest of these guys, like I said, Bonucci's not playing.
I would play Chiellini. I think I would play Chiellini and Bastoni.
Yeah, but Bastoni play on the left.
I know that's the other route you can do. You can put him on the left too. So, but I mean, I'm putting Spinazzola out there on the right, and then
Spinazzola. Yeah.
Listen,
and Lazaro.
Bastoni and Inter play defend. He play in the left side, but defense as a defense. He doesn't attack like Emerson or like Florenzo.
No, I know. He's what Bonucci wants to be. Give long balls, but they actually go to the players. Like he's a good defender who can actually play the ball.
Even the De Lorenzo attack.
Yeah.
Spinazzola.
Listen, our midfield isn't that great, right? Like it's not. Are we missing people?
Frank, that midfield, are you kidding me?
It's not bad, but it's not that great. I mean, you have Sensi's good, right?
Frank, you have Barella, Locatelli, and Verratti as your starting midfield?
Is Verratti that great?
Verratti's amazing. Are you kidding me?
No. Verratti's been overrated.
Doesn't mean get out of here.
He's been overrated for years.
No, he's been playing good, dude.
Yeah, we say that all the time.
I would take you on Juventus in a freaking heartbeat, and I would pay him $15 million a year right now and say, go play in the middle of the field and actually play the ball because nobody else can. And he would be your best player on the team.
Listen, 100%. I was a huge Verratti fan when he was first bought, and I don't think he's gotten that much better.
I agree with Frank.
No,
I don't think he's gotten that much better.
Watch him.
I think you guys
watch him.
You have not seen him play.
You're not watching him. I'm telling you, he's fantastic.
He's been good.
Verratti?
Yes, he's so good.
I also think he's somebody who's got his head on wrong, and he's not someone in a tough game that's going to make you win.
That's French.
Listen, I'm not saying buy Verratti. I'm saying he's a good player. Verratti's going to cost a bunch, and his contract would be absurd. I'm not saying that I'm saying he's a good player, and he would be dominant for Juventus.
Listen, the forwards, the forwards are not too bad, right? You've got to figure Keane, Immobile, Insigne, Chiesa, right? And then Berardi or Caputo, maybe.
They are Chiesa and Insigne they play.
Yeah.
Then and they play one or Immobile or Belotti.
It's going to be Immobile.
Well, see, Belotti, I don't think he should get a spot necessarily over Keane. I think Keane deserves a fair shot over Belotti too.
No, but Chiesa and Insigne they play.
Kane is never going to play over these other guys.
Chiesa and Insigne they play.
You don't think Keane is going to, by the time the tournament comes, can play over these other guys?
But Keane has to do with Immobile and Belotti.
Yeah, that's
what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I think Belotti shouldn't necessarily have a spot ahead of Keane.
No.
It depends on who's in form.
The oney time you're going to see Kane on the field is if they're losing and they need a spark off the bench. And they're going to throw him in.
Play.
You watch your mouth over there, right?
Caputo's corner
is fading away up north over there. Like he's not.
So wait, when are these games?
So they're there on the side.
The 25th versus who?
Northern Ireland.
Bulgaria is the 28th, and then so they have 3 games.
Yeah, 3 qualifiers, which I'm expecting them to be after that poor performance from last one. They need to go 3-0 here.
Like, what was the last? You're talking about the last one where they
the last World Cup. Yeah, they didn't qualify. Like you need to go 3-0 and start out strong.
Which they've been good. They've won.
They've been playing good in the Euros and everything. Yeah, you can't mess it up now, right? You gotta go and you gotta start beat all these teams, right?
Yeah.
Because I can't go through another World Cup without Italy in it. Last time Italy and the US weren't in it, it just sucked.
Mm-hmm. But look at the teams they're playing. They're not matched up against Spain right here. They're not even matched up against Sweden for Christ's sake. Like these are 3 teams you need to win.
We play Ireland.
Northern Ireland.
Northern Ireland, Bulgaria, and Lithuania.
I mean, Lithuania and Bulgaria they'll play you hard, but you should beat them.
They should kill them.
Yes. And all these games are on ESPN Plus, I believe. So if you do want to watch them, they're all on there. I think Italy's all their qualifying games are on there.
That's exciting. I'm going to enter these into my phone so I don't miss these puppies.
That's the roster. No real surprise. A couple people that you wouldn't want to see on there, but the roster's so deep that they're never going to play.
I mean, overall, the roster looks like it's pretty deep, which is nice. It's starting to come a nice mix of young guys and some people with experience, so that's a good thing.
Comunque, Bonucci e Chiellini, they're going to play titolare.
I mean, they're definitely going to get a game together. I would think out of these 3 games, they're going to play together at least one of them in the middle of the field. I don't think they're going to play all 3 games.
Listen, they're 3 days apart, so he's probably going to have to mix the roster. He's not going to play the same 2.
Yeah. I like that Ferrari got a spot. I like Ferrari. I think he's a good defender. I hope he gets a game, to be honest.
So, really quickly, that being said, with these games, we were thinking about, I don't know if you guys still want to do it, but we were thinking about doing that Sunday game versus Bulgaria, maybe live streaming it. Be on the lookout for that.
Like a live commentary kind of while we watch it. Maybe we can do that. I don't know if you guys are up for that.
Maybe we'll do that. Be on the lookout for it.
That could be fun.
How do you do that? To watch it and talk.
So we watch and talk as things happen, and we talk about the game. You do this. You talk while the game's on, and you talk about it. You don't show the game.
You have to watch on TV, no?
Yeah. Well, whoever's watching the stream is watching the game too, and you talk with those people. You talk about what's going on in the game. But we'll see.
Maybe Sunday we'll do that.
That could be fun.
Yeah. Other than that, I didn't put up games for this week because there's there's the break, there's the international break, so I didn't even. Next week I'll put up the games for.
Wait,
week
is the 25th this week?
Yeah.
What's today's date?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So
that's in 3 days. I was thinking that was next week.
No, that's why there's no games this weekend because we got all this. And then Juventus will lose. Give them a week off. Let them lose. Take a week off.
They play next.
Torino.
Oh yeah. No, they'll lose. They're gonna get a point out of that.
Yeah. Anyway, you guys have anything else to add?
Pirlo for
final
president.
thoughts. Pirlo for president. Frank wants to give him promotion. All right, that's a bold move.
I just don't want to talk about them anymore. I'm over it.
Well,
what about you?
There's only 10 weeks left, and then we could start talking about how do we rebuild this scrubby team.
Yes, the window, the summer window will be fun.
Hey, the Euros this season too. Are they on or are they potentially off again?
Yeah, I guess so. They already talking about the fan on the field, but they ask you for to be vaccinated.
Yeah, you're probably gonna have to show your vaccine card and all that kind of stuff.
That's cool.
Hopefully they have
we do a live stream from the stadium.
Yeah, totally. All right, we will see you guys next week. Like, subscribe, YouTube, Twitter.
Tell your friends,
Twitch.
tell your family.
Right now on Twitch, by the way, Football Manager, not to brag, but Chris is in first place. I'm in fourth place. We're both making the Champions League right now. Let's see if we can keep it that way. So
today, we just had a game versus each other. I beat him 4-0. He was crying. The locker room speech took like 4 hours for him.
We were confused. We were confused, all right?
And
all right,
also,
so follow.
Daddy invited our cousin Giuseppe in Italy, even though it was 3:30 in the morning to watch live. So I was like, you're asking a lot of that guy. I think you should maybe watch it.
No, I cannot be.
You should watch it maybe your little recorded, right? I know we're good and all.
Maybe he's going to have a laugh when you watch recorder over here.
Yeah, tell him next time live or nothing. No, we're just kidding.
Maybe he's going to have a
laugh. Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, follow it all. Interact with us because I don't have any real friends, so I need internet friends.
Internet friends rule.
Yeah. Anyway, see you guys next week.
Shout out to Putina, our #1 fan.
Hell yeah.
All right. Adios, guys.
Hey, good night. Good boy. You have to go there.
It doesn't matter.
Did you say